Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Aya, and today I'm going to walk you through how you can make any subject in your video float just like this. So without any further ado, let's dive into this video. Now, earlier this month, I shot a spec ad for On Running, and I really wanted to have like one or two shots where the shoe was basically floating, in the frame. I was, on YouTube watching a couple of tutorials, but I think most of them were concentrated a bit more on the photography side of things, which is, kind of similar, but I wanted, just to show you how we did it. So as you can see, we have two shots. One was super easy because it was outdoors and basically everything was natural light. So let's start with this one. Basically, as you can see, we have the shoe floating like in the middle of the forest and our talent is touching the shoe. Now, I shot this kind of handheld. I would advise you against that. It's going to be easier for you if it's on a tripod because you're going to have an easier job later when you have to delete the cord. Now, talking about the cord, let me actually just show you. I used this thing, which is, it's invisible cord that you use for bracelets actually, because I'm going to a Taylor Swift concert next week, yay! But anyways, I think it's going to be easier for you if you buy like fishing cord instead of this thing, because this is like stretchy. When the shoe is, or any object is, floating, it's going to basically go up and down, and this can, be a bit trickier with editing later. So just keep that in mind. I think that was for the outdoorsy shot, but I think the more interesting one is the one that we shot indoors. It was shot here in my office, and beware, it's a shitty rig. I bought an air vent because I really wanted to see the shoe, to have it in focus in the center of the frame and see it, through this, vent thing, and the shoe had to be rotating. So we used a microphone arm because I don't have like a C-stand with an extending like arm. So we used the microphone stand, and we used the cord to attach the shoe on it, and then we had the FX30 on a tripod, right behind the air vent. Actually, the vent itself was laying on top of a couple of boxes on this desk. So yeah, pretty janky setup, but it got the job done. And lighting wise, which I think is the more important bit here, I used like for the main source of light the GVM 300B. That light was gifted to me by GVM, so thanks so much. I didn't have a 300 watt light myself, so it's a very nice addition to my arsenal. In terms of build quality and everything, I think it's a pretty great light. It's like peak hour light, and I think it's a pretty good contender to aperture in case you don't have the budget for that and you want something to add to your lighting kit. So we use that with a little softbox to kind of diffuse the light, as the main light to light the shoe. And then on the other side I had my Amaran 60D, with which I'm actually shooting the stocking head. I always use it for that in case you were wondering, and that was to kind of separate the shoe from the background as it's a black wall. I also have two mini Pavo tubes, which we kind of experimented with while the shoe was rotating. So basically that's it, shooting wise. It isn't like some rocket science. It's pretty easy. I'm sure that you are going to nail it. I think the more important thing is to have some kind of concept. I mean, for me, for the second shot, that was the air vent that kind of, make this shot stand out, and the first maybe that there is a character touching it. But I mean, if you're curious about the whole breakdown of the spec ad, I'm going to leave it somewhere here for you to watch it. Now the most important bit is how you delete the cord. It's pretty easy. Me and my editor did it in DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to show you right now basically what are the steps for that. So once you open your shot, you're going to go into Fusion. Now keep in mind here, this is actually the ready shot. I just didn't have the other one on my computer, but you'll get the gist. Just follow with me. So you open it in Fusion and you're going to press on this paint button, and right afterwards you're going to choose the polyline stroke. Now you're going to follow where your cord is on the shot for one frame, and I advise you to start with the first frame because, you know, we are gonna have to track that until the end of the video. So in order to track it, you're going to go to this right hand side panel and right under stroke controls. On the bottom, you're going to see right click here for shape animation. So right click and press on animate, and now you can, you know, move right and left in order to go frame by frame and basically track that and reshape in order to follow your cord. And when you reach the end of your shot, it should be done. Now that I'm watching how this turned out, I just wanted to pop in and say that I recommend that when you're deleting the cord in DaVinci, that you use a log image or like a raw image before, you know, before you color grade it, basically. Because, for example, in my case, I was also adding grain and, you know, making it look a bit more like a film grade. If I was to do that when the shot is graded, it's really going to be more noticeable because of the grain and everything. And I think that if you do the color correction later, you can kind of mask if you haven't done a very good job, you know, in some places. So bonus advice, keep watching. So I think it's pretty easy, honestly. It requires a bit more patience, because especially for me, and by the way, thank you to Bujdar, my editor, for doing this for me, because I am just not a patient person, you know. But I was shooting this handheld, and there is, you know, some up and down movements, so that's why I advise you to shoot it on a tripod so that you can, you know, just track that shape. And if you're lucky, you might not even need to track it, you know. It kind of depends on your shot. But yeah, this is, you know, the quick tutorial. Hope you enjoyed. And by the way, if you're curious to find out more about the light that I mentioned from GVM, I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to check them out. Thank you once again for sending it to me. Yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.